Okay, so this is the video of me allegedly running over her foot. One more time. That's my aunt. That's my cousin.
We still hustle daily. What's up, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Ray Big Play, and I got another story time for y'all today. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all follow my second story time channel, which is We Still Hustle Daily 2. We Still Hustle Daily, the number 2. I'm releasing videos over there every single day, just like how I release videos over here every single day. So if you want more story times, tap in to my second story time channel, because some videos are not going to be over here; they are going to be over there, and vice versa. Okay, and vice versa. Okay, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, everybody having a blessed day. This is a story time about how her family almost made her a convicted felon. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so boom. Story time on how my family almost made me a convicted felon. So long story short, I had just started college. I needed a way to make some money to pay for school, and me and my mom came up with the idea to sell my car. We decided to sell the car to my aunt for $800. Keep that in mind. My mom did pay for the car. This is my second car. She paid for the car as a graduation gift because I graduated early. Cool, whatever. So she originally decided that she was going to take $200 of the money, so I was only going to receive $600. Later on, we came to the conclusion that she wasn't going to take any money because I needed it. Another side note is I went to school about 2 hours away from my hometown, UTC, and the second week of school, our football team was playing UTK, Tennessee Vols, whatever, and that's my hometown, so I decided that I was going to come visit and see. Basically, I told my mom, do not sell my car until after I leave. That way I could have some form of transportation, because I was bringing my friend that I had just met at school with me, and I needed some form of transportation. She was so eager for the money that she said I could drive her car that weekend, but the money that she was taking out of the money that my aunt was sending for the car, she was going to use to get her car fixed. Keep that in mind, so that I could use her car for transportation. She also agreed that she would be taking me back to school on Sunday, because we came down there with a friend that was not returning on Sunday. When I came down there, I had the spare key on me, but I did not tell her that because she kept asking for it, and in my opinion, it was just not smart to give the spare key without having the full payment, so I didn't. So boom, whatever, Wednesday comes, and I didn't hear from my mom on Wednesday. She sent me the money on Thursday, and she only sent me $175, and my aunt supposedly paid her $400. Basically, Friday comes, her car's not fixed. She spent the money on other stuff, but she still lets me drive it the first night. The second day comes, and she says that apparently I roughed her car too much and she didn't want me driving it anymore. Okay, cool. Another side note is that my aunt told me when I got down there that she was not going to have the money until 2 weeks later. And she kept telling me that you're not getting the money until you give me the title and the keys. And I was trying to explain to her that unless she has the money, I'm not focused on getting the title or the keys. So Sunday comes, and my mom can't take me back to school because her car is broke. The other people that could, their cars were also broke. Nobody could take me back to school. So I originally came up with a plan that I was going to either ask my aunt to take me, or I was going to take the car myself and bring it back when she had the money. Something to get me and my friend to school. Like, it's not just me. I have somebody else with me who needs to get back to school. Somewhere in there, I guess my mom called my aunt, and the word got out that I was going to take my car. It sounds bad because I did end up taking it, but I was not planning on it. I was trying to negotiate something just to get me and my friend back to school. I was going to offer, I'll fill the gas tank up, and they take me to school and they could drive the car back. So I'm sitting outside with Cousin A and my friend, and I'm calling my uncle to get his opinion on things and to ask if he can take me to school, and he couldn't. So my aunt sends me a text in there and was like, oh, you're not taking the car? I paid for it. So after she sends me that text, I see her husband comes outside and gets in the car and attempts to move the car. And after that, that kind of made me heated, because, like, are y'all trying to be funny? And the car's in my name? Like, come on now. So I went inside and tried to negotiate, but as soon as the door opened, Cousin B and aunts are just yelling at me. So I just walk upstairs, go in the room, and sit down. I'm just on my phone while they're constantly yelling, and I'm just listening to what they're saying. Then my aunt comes out of her mouth and says something about she'll burn the car and neither of us will have it. Excuse me? So then I did make a comment myself, and we did get to going back and forth with some words. At that point, I decided I'm just going to take the car and leave, because at the end of the day, it's in my name. I paid for the insurance, I paid for the registration, I paid for everything. It's my car. And I, so far, have not received nothing but $175. As I was leaving, Cousin B and my aunt were banging at the back of my car. I have a video. If you guys want to see it, let me know. About 30 minutes go by, and I'm just driving, and then I see an officer turning right as I'm finna turn left. So, natural instincts, I let them go first. They're in this lane, and I'm in this lane. I'm not going to pass them. So, they get in front of me, and then they go to the left turning lane, so I thought I was good to pass them. As soon as I passed them, they automatically aren't turning anymore, and they got behind me. So I instantly called my mom because I got pulled over like 2 nights before and was scared. You know, I don't like the police. When they pull me over, they get to ask me for my name. They didn't even ask me for my ID, which was kind of strange. I was pulling out my ID, and she was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Brooklyn." And she was like, "Brooklyn Shipley." And I was like, "Ooh, let me not put my government out there." So after pulling me over, she asked me for my name and asked me if I had just came from the Lonsdale Apartments, and I was like, yes. And then she asked me to step out the car and put handcuffs on me, and I was like, am I detained? Like, you have to, I kept saying she has to tell me why I was detained, because I watch a lot of police videos. You can't just put somebody in handcuffs without saying anything, and they weren't saying anything. Eventually, when she handed me over to the other officer, he said I was under arrest for I had a warrant for my arrest for domestic aggravated assault. So I asked where this came from and how I have a warrant, and they was like, I fled the scene. I did not know the cops were being involved. She was telling me that and texting me after I left that she was calling the cops, reporting the car as stolen. I was going to get taken to jail, but you guys, the car it still is in my name. So I ignored it. I took it as a joke. You can't put a report out for a car that's not yours, you know? So I asked what the assault was, and they said I allegedly ran over her foot with my car. Once again, there is a video, guys. There's a video. Cousin A took a video as I was pulling off. So if you guys want to see it, let me know. And then after that, I was took to jail, and I sat in there for a week. Keep in mind, guys, that happened in September. The final court date was in December, and the case is, yeah. And the funniest part, you guys, is that same aunt just texted me about a week ago saying, oh, so you're still not talking to me? Okay, so this is the video of me allegedly running over her foot. One more time. That's my aunt. That's my cousin. And about the key situation.
Okay, to me, it doesn't look like she ran over nobody's foot. Ain't nobody scream out, ah, or nothing. So, somebody say definitely want the video, because this is crazy. She was wrong. If she would have gotten the keys and the title, she would have ran off with it. It be family. Shaking my head.
Situation. She had the main key. She was already driving the car before I got down there. I just had the spare key, and she didn't know. And to this day, this girl still has my main key, which did become an issue because I had lost my spare key and I couldn't get into my car. So when I messaged her about getting my main key back, she wanted me to pay her $400 to sign a piece of paper, and then she just kept raising the price and was like, actually pay me $500, pay me $600, pay me this, all in order to get my key back, because I was disrespectful. And like I said, she texted me like 3 days ago, or like a week ago, and was like, so you're still not talking to me? I don't know what I was supposed to say to that. And also, guys, when I went to go get my key, I called the police to get like an escort, and they did tell me that Tennessee was like a state to where I can record, so I don't think I'll get in trouble for posting this video. But if you guys think I will, let me know so I can take it down, because the case is it's done, but it's kind of not, I don't know.
Alright, somebody say, why did they hold you a week? More on experience, please. Sorry you had to deal with this. Excuse my sniffing. I was in there so long, and the case was dragged for so long due to her procrastination. The video was obviously not enough proof. I never heard it brought up during the court dates.
I was first getting took to jail. I did not know anything because I didn't really understand what was going on, because I didn't know somebody could just call and say something happened and you can get took to jail. My whole case was built literally off of he say, she say, you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, when I was getting arrested, all they told me was that I had a warrant for domestic aggravated assault, and pulling up to the jail, the officer who was taking me had told me that it was only going to be a 12-hour hold for situations like this. But it was way longer. Basically, I was in the holding cell for about 12 hours before I even got took into a pot. Also, keep in mind, I was very scared in this situation. I am not a bad kid. Like, I'm not a jail person, so if any of these terms are incorrect, do not like quote me on any of these terms, because I was not really paying attention to the correct terms for these jail shit. You know. Basically, after I was in the holding cell for about 12 freaking hours and they got all my information and everything, they took me to this one pod where I just spent the night, woke up, had breakfast, stayed asleep, and then I had my arraignment, which was on a Monday. I wasn't under the impression this is my first time ever being in trouble with the cops, for real, so I thought I was going to be let out on arraignment, something like that, something. Basically, they was just going to let me go, but they didn't. They gave me a $3,000 bond and set me a court date for 2 days later, which was a Wednesday. My uncle came and tried to bond me out that same day, and they were not able to bond me out because I don't remember exactly why. All I know is they said I was not able to be bonded out until my court date, which was stupid. So come my court date, and my lawyer tried to get me out the day of my court date, and they decided that I could be let out on bond, but I had to wear an ankle monitor. So right after my court date, they tried to come and bond me out, and when trying to bond me out, we found out that my aunt had 48 hours to come up to the jail herself and sign a piece of paper deciding whether she wants to wear a bracelet too or not. My terms for the bracelet was that I could not go anywhere near her apartment complex, was basically that whole street. I could not go anywhere near, or else I would be immediately put back in jail, and I could not contact her at all. She had the option to wear another bracelet that would beep off if we was ever in the same vicinity. If she chose to wear that bracelet, I had to pay for it in order to get out on top of my bond money. She did not show up for the whole 48 hours to come sign that paper at all, even though during court she told the courts that she did not see me as a threat. She wasn't there, but she called the DA and left a message. So the 48 hours was over on a Friday when I was able to bond myself out, and I had to wear an ankle monitor. Keep in mind, I went to school in Chattanooga, and this happened in Knoxville. I had to leave school once a week from Chattanooga and come all the way down to Knoxville to check in with the pro people, which is basically once a week. You have 3 chances to show up to a court date before the case is dropped. She did not show up to the first 2 court dates. She showed up to the very last one for 15 minutes and was trying to make a plea deal that I either give her the car back and she won't press charges, or she's pressing charges. I said I'm not giving the car back, but she still couldn't make up her mind whether she wanted to press charges or not. So after she left, my lawyer and the DA came up with the decision that the case will be passed and dismissed, which means I go a year without getting in trouble. I pay off my court fees, which is like $500, and then the case is dismissed. And everyone's telling me to get a new key. I've called everywhere. Apparently my key is a special key. It's so expensive to replace my key. So I'm just finna get a new car, and I have my spare key, so everything's cool. Okay, so for everyone saying, like, take her to court and everything, I tried, kind of. Looking back, I was very much in the dark about my own case. Like I said, she never really showed up to court, so every time it came to present my case, the judge was kind of like, oh, well, she's not here, we don't need to talk about it, let's just reschedule. So yeah, the court date that I did have in October, my lawyer was like, this is the second court date she hasn't showed up to, can I get my ankle monitor turned off? And the judge did agree for me to get my ankle monitor taken off after I paid off all the fees, but nothing else was really done. When I lost my key and I needed my main key, I had contacted the police, and they told me that I could have a police officer escort me over there to return my key, and that since I had messages proof saying that she had my key, I didn't have to pay for it. The police would make me give it to her. I did show up with the police, but the issue was that they can't just force her to open the door. They can't just go in the house and get my key. They can't really force her to give me my key. So since she did not open the door for the police, there's not much they could do about it. And the police just recommended that I took it to court, but he said that it was a very slow and long process, and given the circumstances on how my case already went, it's not looking good for me if I try to do it. So I just decided to leave the situation alone. The also main factor is my cousin, which is that aunt's son. He is in elementary school, and I just love him to death. Regardless of everything that happened, he had nothing to do with it. Even at the court date, he tried so hard to come up and hug me, but I could tell his mom would not let him. So my mom has also told me that every time she's contacted them, he's always talking about how he misses me and everything. So out of like respect for him, and because I don't want him to have to go through any of that. Also, my aunt is already a nobody. She has, let me stop. I don't want to ruin his life by taking her to court and taking the little bit of stuff she has left, if you get what I'm saying. Doing this story time kind of brought everything up, but I just have been waiting to get my story out, so I don't really care. And about the key situation, I have learned now that I can get a key replaced. But like I said, guys, I'm just gonna get a new car. Like, this car is so much trauma, I don't give a fuck about it. When I did message her, trying to be nice about my key and everything and talk about my cousin, she just proceeded to, like, cuss me out and talk about how she always took care of me and stuff, and, like, no, never. So, January 22nd, that was the last time we spoke. I literally said, just enjoy, goodbye is what that it's supposed to be. And this is her hitting me up on Sunday. I didn't know how to respond, so this is what I mean by my case was passed and dismissed. It just basically means they decided not to prosecute, but what I was told that if I was to get in trouble within the next year, like say I was to get in a fight and catch another assault charge, then this case will become a conviction. But as of right now, I am not considered a convicted felon. But for some reason, it still shows up on my record as domesticated aggravated assault, and therefore I have not been able to find a job since this situation. I did get a job, and then they fired me and said something came up on my background check. And to everyone, this is when I had the ankle monitor on. This was after well, no, I didn't have it on for my birthday. I got it took off in October. But I had it on for a whole month. Yeah, it was ugly and big, and imagine walking around a college campus like that. I was known as the girl with the ankle monitor. Literally, everybody approached my friends and was like, the girl with the ankle monitor. Apparently, people were scared of me, like I'm some criminal or something. Even the dining hall workers had nicknames for me, and one of them was Baddie, and the other one was Tracker, because I was constantly being tracked. I can't find my original mugshot, but this is one that somebody drew on, and as you can see, it says 12-hour hold down there, but I was, in fact, not in there for 12 hours. I don't know what happened with that.
It's unfortunate, you know, your own family members. This girl is 19, you know, but y'all know what to do it. Money will definitely do it. If you ever want to get into it with somebody, shit, have some money involved. The only thing that I will say about this is, damn, $800 for a car that can drive, that get you back to school and all that. What kind of car was this? Cause shit, everything going up now. I want that type of car. I'll buy that motherfucker for $800. Let me get it, please. 800? What? And it was taking her to school and all that? Shit, that don't sound like a little bad car to me. She might have been able to get some more money for that. So, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Like I say, it's always unfortunate when family members is getting into it and all that. You know what I'm saying? Especially for something serious as this situation. You know, it is a felony. We looked at the video. It doesn't look like the auntie was hurt or anything. So I'm surprised this wasn't thrown out. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me as always. Don't forget to subscribe to my second Storytime channel. Alright, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. It's your boy Ray Big Play. And I will catch y'all on another one today. Don't forget to like the video and follow me on the Grizam. Peace.